Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Raghvin Mishra and I welcome you all. In this video, we will learn how to use POM design pattern in Cucumber. The page object model, also known as POM, is not a feature or component of Selenium or Cucumber itself, but rather a design approach to structure and organize your test automation code for better maintainability, reusability, and readability. Alright, with that, let me take you to this diagram and show you what is the difference between the non-POM and POM structure design pattern basically. So in non-POM you can see you have web element, method and test script, everything written inside one class, wherein in the POM design pattern we have separated the page objects from the test script, right? So in the POM, what we follow, we generally consider one web page as a class. So we write a class for a page. Okay, so any web element or XPath or method related, any action related to that particular web page will be considered or will be implemented in one class. And like if it is login page, so we will be writing or identifying XPath related to username, password, sign up, sign in, okay, all those buttons, whatever expected messages you are whatever expected messages are there, right? Everything will be identified in that particular class, right? And if it is home page, anything related to that home page, any action related to that home page will be actually written in that home page class. Okay, so I hope this difference is clear to you. Okay, so with that I'll take you to this Eclipse ID again, and then we can just go back to the existing project, whatever we have created. Okay, you can refer my previous videos in this channel, okay, inside the Cucumber playlist. I will take you to this also. So this is that playlist. You can watch these two videos in order to get better understanding of like how to set up and how to do the login test, right, with all those scenario and scenario outline, and with the parameterization, and with the how to do that test data driven testing, right, in Cucumber. So now here what we are going to do now, so this is our feature file wherein we have defined these username and password, right, and we have parameterized it. Now this is the step definition, right, login step definition for the feature file which we have here. So you can just take a glance and understand the existing flow, though you can refer the video. And also like here what we are going to do, here we are going to implement or adopt the POM, right? Everything is written inside this login step definition, right? Now what we will do with POM, we can write anything related to that login page, right, in separate class. Understood, right? So what we will do here, so we will actually go ahead and create a package called page objects, okay, inside which I'll be creating a class for the login. And if it is home page, then you have to create one more class file called home page. But we are going to automate everything inside this, okay, because we are going to automate the login scenario with the POM. So I have created login page, inside which I will be actually just declare this, and I will hold Shift Control and O, so it will import the required packages for the WebDriver. And similarly I will be just initializing variables for the username, because that is something which we can find in the login page, right? So I will be storing the XPath of those in these variables, XPath of username and password. And So you can store the XPath or ID or whatever locator, right, you are comfortable with, or with whatever mechanism you are identify that web element uniquely on the web page, in the login page. So here I'm going to store the XPath of or ID of this particular username. Okay, username, and similarly I'll be storing the ID of password in the txt password variable. So let me copy that as well. I will be copying the ID of this inside this and put the semicolon, and similarly for the login button, so it is button, so I can write something like this. Okay, by.id, and we know that the ID is available for this login button as well, so I will copy this. Okay, basically whatever you have done here in this step definition, right, all those variables I'm just storing in this particular. So whatever is related to the login page will go into this login page, right? So this, everything, right? And also one XPath which we are expecting, right? So this is the XPath of that. So we can have it in the home page though, but let us consider this having in the same page. No harm, but going forward when we expand or when we extend this series, we will be actually storing this particular element in the separate class maybe. But yeah, since it is directly affecting the login functionality and it is a part of verification, then we can have it in the login page itself. All right, so this is going to be my label. So LBL I can write, and then I can have that logo, right? That is logo. So LB by.xpath, I can mention something like this, and I can store that in this variable. Okay, so which we will be using in during the assertion. All right, now let me just write the method related to login, entering the username and password. So I'll be writing a method for like enter username. Okay, and this username we are receiving from the feature file, right, from the examples that outline, right, whatever I have shown it to you, this is that. Okay, so I'm going to receive, okay, from the step definition going forward, from the feature file. Yeah, so this is of string type, and so I'm receiving it in the string variable. Okay, as a string variable. Here inside this I can just write driver dot find element, and we can use username. All right, now what we are going to do, we are going to supply the username. Okay, so username is whatever we have received, we can actually enter into the text. Similarly for the password, and entering password we can have, and for the login also. So I will say click login for the login, and here for this I can change it to the password, because it is going, this method is going to work for the password. So I'll be receiving the password here, of course, password, and here I will be giving the password, and password of course we have identified, right, and stored in this. Okay, so we have identified the element, and for this we can change the variable, we can update the variable. So we are finding this particular web element, and we are supplying the password to this. And similarly for this we are going to click on login button. So we are not supplying anything, rather we are going to click on this button. Okay, all right, so we can consolidate each and every step whatever we have written in these granular methods. So we can write one more method called login for valid user. So public void login valid user, maybe login with valid user, or yeah, login with valid user or whatever. Or login user login maybe. Okay, user login. Okay, so user login, I can receive two arguments, which is username and one more, which is password. Here password that we have to type. That name can be anything, okay, which we are receiving, of course, from the feature file, and going forward we will be using them, right? So I can use this, here I can use this here, okay, so separately, and I can also use, so as in when we call this particular method user login, we will be supplying these two parameters, okay. So because this is expecting two arguments, username and password, okay, and then we will be clicking on the button, okay. So this is what we are going to do with this, and now we'll go back to the step definition file, of course. So here I will be creating one more step definition for the POM, okay. So I'll rename it with the POM login step definition, okay, and we can just comment it out, or this for now, because there may be duplicate step definition, so I just don't want to use them. So rather, since we have already created a POM login step definition, or login step definition for the POM file, so we will be making changes over here. All right, so what we can change here in this, we can, wherever we are actually calling this, right, we can create the object of login page now, and we can call those methods directly here in this implementation inside these methods. So what I will do here is, I will actually, so far I think till here it is good, and here let me just create initialize login page object. I will just declare the login, the reference variable of this login page, and which we can use here. So let me just comment it out, because we don't want these as well. Rather, what I will do, I will actually go ahead and create the object of that login page, and I will call out login dot, I will enter the username, and that username which we are receiving from the we are receiving it from the feature file, okay. So this is a step definition file. Inside this we have these methods to implement, and this is the one from the page object, okay, file. This is that class for the login page, and here we have written a methods inside. So I'll be actually entering the username, okay. I will be calling this method whatever I have written here inside this username, right? So it is going to type or send this username to the username field, okay. So this is that, and similarly for the enter password, and I'm just receiving the password which is given in the feature file, okay. So this is that step definition, and there is no change as such, but here instead of this non-POM structure, we are actually following the POM, okay. And also for this, we are actually, what we can do here, we can just using login object, we can click on this, we can click on login. It is it expecting anything? No, I don't think so. Login dot click login and username. No, we should not give the certain some mistake. So here you have to avoid this particular username. We are not supplying anything, rather we are just interested in clicking on the button, right? Okay, so now when you again invoke that method, it will give you the correct parameters for the click login method. Okay, so this is what we are going to do inside this. So this is how we are calling click login method of login page, okay, using this login object. All right, so now here we have to put assertion. So we just want to make sure that this particular web element is visible. So what we can do, we can write one more method inside login page for this particular XPath which we are going to identify. Okay, so I will just write one method called if is logo, okay, app logo displayed. Okay, so this is going to be a method inside which I'm going to use this. So I'll be writing something like driver dot find element, and then I will be using that label. So that is nothing but the XPath. It contains the XPath, right? There will be a logo duplicate field. So I'm using this, so it is complaining about that. So I'll remove it. No worries. Okay, and so driver dot find is displayed. This is the method from the Selenium. So we are going to just verify if this particular element is present after we make a successful login to the application or not. is a logo displayed? Okay, and this is that logo, right? So after entering the username, let me do it manually, and so that we can be more sure about like what is the expectation. So we are looking for this particular XPath after the successful login. Okay, so this is that logo, okay, this image. All right, so with that I think our POM login step definition is ready, and then we can call that method logo is logo displayed. So if that particular element is present, then it will be fine. The execution of this particular step definition will be fine, and the feature file will be able successfully, it will be successful. All right, so I'm just executing this feature file. Okay, and see one scenario, 5 steps passed, and let me here, because we have not run from the test runner, so we can just go ahead and to the test runner file, which is Cucumber test runner. And since we have already, so one thing which you have to make sure that this particular class should be commented out, or you have to be more specific when you are running all the step definition from the test runner. Okay, so here whatever is there in the step definition will be executed. So I'm just executing this one, right? Since the same methods are written in this login step, so we have just copied this login step definition, and whatever changes are required are done here in this POM login step definition file. Okay, so alright, so now I'm going to run that with the help of TestNG, or you can use JUnit as well for the same matter, for that matter. Okay, so here it is failing, and let us see why it is failing, because it is equally important, right, to understand like what we are actually doing and how we are actually fixing the error. Fixing error is also important. Okay, which is why there is no edit in this video, and whatever output I'm getting, or I'm just presuming that you might also face the same issue, and you should be able to fix it on your own, right, after watching this video. So let us see why it is failed. So it is expecting something which is not found. Driver, see, because this dot driver is null. See, so this is the error. Null pointer exception, can't invoke webdriver web element. Okay, now one thing which we have missed here, and good that we are running it from the runner. So you have to maintain the session of that webdriver, right? So as in when you are actually passing, there are two declaration of the WebDriver here. You can also see the WebDriver. I can remove it. It's not like we have to remove it, but we have initialized the driver here also. We have initialized the driver WebDriver here also. You can see these things, right? Now since we have to maintain the session, and because of this session it is failing this particular element, it is not able to find those things. It says webdriver.find element because this dot driver is null. Okay, so we have to initialize, we have whatever we are passing from here. Okay, so it has to maintain the session also here. So inside this, what we can do, we can just create one constructor. We can create one constructor. So constructor is nothing but the method with the name, same name as class name. Okay, we can then use this dot driver. Okay, and here we can do, what we can do here is, like, we can write webdriver driver. Okay, so this particular constructor, when initialized or whenever we are creating the object of this login page, it is expecting the driver reference variable, okay, which we have to pass, and so that we can maintain the session, and whatever it is receiving, it is initializing that with the this dot driver. So this, when we use this keyword, it means this is the driver reference of this. Okay, whatever we have declared here, it will actually get initialized with the driver reference, whatever we are passing from the step definition file. Okay, so now as in when you are creating the object of this particular class login page, you have to pass the driver reference as well. Okay, so now there is user enters valid and multiple constructor login webdriver is undefined. So login page and webdriver driver equal to we have to pass this particular webdriver we are passing. So we have to pass login to this login page. We will be passing webdriver driver. Okay, so if this particular file is not saved, then you may see this error. Okay, so here we are passing that driver reference variable, okay, to this constructor, login page constructor. And yeah, so let us run this file again and see. So guys, you just note it down. So if you get this error, so you have to do this. Okay, you have to pass the reference, driver reference. See, it is getting executed and all the tests are passed. Okay, forget about this WebSocket error. This is generic, and I will be covering how to fix this error in one more video if required. This is warning, so you can just ignore it for now. Okay, our test is passed. Okay, so this is how you can restructure your test cases using POM design approach, design pattern. All right, so that is, I hope you have liked the explanation and learned from this video. And If so, please do like and subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, and also share the feedback in comment section. And I will see you in next video. Till then, keep learning and thanks for watching.